Not bad. Gentlemen.
Gavin, how are you?
Good. When do you guys check in with this lady and make sure she's okay?
As soon as yeah.
Might be a good idea since looks like she's broke down or something.
Yep.
Awesome.
Have a good night.
You too. So, why not go up to your officers and say, hey, do your job, right? Doesn't have to be a fight unless they want to make it one, of course. But instead of harassing and collecting, maybe they could protect and serve. Instead of writing tickets to everybody, maybe they could actually help people. If our police officers did less looking to get people in trouble and more looking to get people out of trouble, if they did less looking of reasons to arrest and cite people and looked more for reasons to keep people from having to get arrested and to keep from writing citations and actually had a mindset of serving, our nation wouldn't be where it is today. We wouldn't have the problems with police and courts and a system that is designed for abuse, for extortion, and to punish and enslave rather than serve and protect. But ultimately that falls to us. The problem is we the people, we're not holding them to account to liberty, to the principle of law, which is life, liberty, and property, not do whatever the government tells you. And I'm actually going to stay here, make sure they don't turn checking up on that lady into harassment. And if they don't, that's great. Here's one of the things I've learned in dealing with police officers, all right? First of all, I assert myself. Now, I didn't pick a fight with those guys because they weren't doing anything wrong. They were just filling up. I came here, I got some gas, and they're sitting there. And there's no problem as long as they do their job. So nothing like a polite little nudge to say, go do their job. Now, okay, they're over here now. It looks like the lights are on, but I think he's actually showing the car off to the kid. So they know. You notice that I walked up. I've never met that guy before. He knew exactly who I was. So they know they're on that display right now. They're on their best behavior. I don't think they're going to give her any trouble. Here's the thing. Number one, when I deal with cops, I always assert myself. They're working for me. The police are servants. They work for us, for we the people, and I treat them as such. It doesn't mean I'm rude to them. It's not rude to say, hey, you need to do this, or hey, check this out, or hey, do your job. Now, if they start being rude to me, I will certainly respond and firm up my resolve to make it clear what the roles are. We're the citizens, they're the servants. And if people understood this, that would be huge. Another thing is just my mindset of assertiveness. People get nervous when police follow them. They say, I get emails about this. They'll say, well, Gavin, police are following me in my town and they're harassing me. They're just making me miserable because I called them out, or because I did this, or because they don't like me, whatever the case may be. And here's my answer to that for people who don't like police following them. And I'm going to make it real clear. I do not allow police to drive behind me. And I mean this quite seriously. If a police officer is behind me for more than just a moment, sometimes even then I'll do this, I pull over. I make them pass me. Now people will say, well, they're just going to pull right in behind you. Guess what? If I pull over first and they do pull in behind me, I've already asserted myself over the conversation. So now they're going to come to the window. My camera's already going to be running and my doors are going to be locked, of course. And I'm not going to beat around the bush with them. They'll say, well, I just wanted to check on you, maybe. Or they might say, I wanted to actually pull you over, at which point I would say, oh, you didn't pull me over, I pulled over. Is there something I can do for you, officer? And so the subtlety of just how you word things and how you make your position actually makes a huge difference in making sure that you assert yourself over the officers. Now, at the same time, I'm careful. I'm careful with my movements. I might play a little good cop, bad cop, and go back and forth. But the bottom line of what I'm trying to convey here on Liberty School today, and this is kind of impromptu, it's kind of dark, the video is probably not very good, but I just stopped and did this quick video with these officers and thought, let's talk about this. So you assert yourself proportionally to the behavior of the officers. So you can be assertive and very nice, or you can be assertive and get a little more aggressive. I never, of course, take it to, oh, I'm going to beat you up, because I'm not. I'm asserting myself in my civil legal way with them as servants. So if the officer, I pull over because I don't want him behind me, right? He pulls in and he says, oh, I just want to check in on you. And I'll say, oh, okay, we're fine. We're fine. And he'll say, well, you pulled over there. And I'll say, yeah, I don't let police officers be behind me. And so again, I've asserted myself. I've made a factual statement, but I guarantee you say that to the officer and they're going to be kind of taken aback and they're probably going to ask questions which you don't have to answer, or you can just say, because I don't want to be harassed. I don't want somebody looking for me to break a rule so I can get in trouble. You can word it however you want. Just try and stay principled with your boldness and be firm.
Let me see your driver's license registration.
No, I'm not operating a motor vehicle.
Let me see your identification then.
I don't have to show you identification.
Actually, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and identify you. Make sure.
On what grounds are you identifying me? Am I suspected of committing a crime?
No.
Okay.
At this point, I'm just trying to make sure that everything is good.
Everything's good.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're fine. There's no problem.
No, there's no problem. I'm just
trying to now the other question I have is why do you not want me behind you? All I did was pull on the street. I'm driving on patrol and you immediately hit your turn signal and pulled off.
Because why do you not want me behind you? Because when I was behind you, you pulled off too. Does it make you uncomfortable that I'm behind you?
No, actually, if you want to follow me around all day, I can.
No, that's cool. And I wasn't intending to. I was just heading out here.
Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't want you behind me.
Okay. So
Yeah.
and you're not going to let me know who you are.
No.
Okay.
I don't think that's necessary.
All right.
I don't see.
Well, I mean,
if you have a real concern that a crime has been
I was-
committed. And I never showed him ID. I never showed him license, registration, anything, because he didn't pull me over. I was actually already stopped when he came up. Now, on the other hand, the officer might be like, well, you failed to signal. Because a lot of times they'll stop you and they'll look for a reason. And at that point, if he's really stopping me, even though I pulled over first for a traffic infraction, yeah, I'm probably going to give him my license, registration, etc. So you want to be careful with how far you go. You want to be careful with your conversation and with how much you push it. I mean, there's people that make the natural law assertion that they have a right to travel and therefore they don't have a driver's license, they don't have a registration. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. I think that there is solid ground on that, not only constitutionally, but on a natural law sense. The problem with it is that I can't take on every battle, and every battle is not worth taking on every day because I really am looking to start conversations and take actions that help restore liberty for our children. And sometimes those are local incidents, but they have a larger effect than just that one incident. For example, when I stop on marked police cars, it has an effect of endangering people in a large sense, but the conversation also has an effect of getting people thinking about liberty in the large sense. That said, do I want to give them cause to arrest me for not having license registration? While it is a reasonable topic to take on, I can't take on every battle, and neither can you. So you got to pick your battles, you be firm, and remember in all of this, here's the bottom line. You know, we're talking about, here's this situation where I dealt with these police officers tonight. Here's how I deal with police officers on a daily basis. Here's how I prevent them from following me. I don't let them. And here's the general topic of how I engage with our servants and treat them as such with respect and with the respect that they garner based on their behavior. I'm not going to be all soft and kind and handshaky to an officer who's being lawless, who's violating me in some way, who's violating someone else in some way. That doesn't mean I'm going to lose control in anger, but I will take a stand. Bottom line here is liberty has to be equal. It has to apply to everyone equally, and liberty and law, the fundamentals of all of that. You know, you go back to our God-given rights. You go back to natural law, life, liberty, and property. That's what law is all about. And so legislation and things that politicians are making up, it's not law if it doesn't exist to protect life, liberty, and property equally for everyone. It's not law. And so when you think about law in that way, and this goes back to some of the other videos I've done, when you think about law in that context, when you think about our officers as servants, when you think about the government as serving the people, and us making sure they're being held accountable, even with the little things like pulling up and looking at the two cops chatting at the gas station while we're paying them, and the lady over on the corner 100 yards away is broke down, and saying, well, hey, go help her. And now they're over there helping her out. It looks like I don't see any problems. Now, had they not done it, I would have done it. But it's their job. Keep your government accountable. Don't be afraid to call them out. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. But make sure, even though I just casually approached those guys, the camera was running. I wasn't super overt about it, but the camera's running. Always film everything, stand bold, stand principled, stand resolute for liberty for everyone equally. Is she good, gents?
Yeah, we're just looking for some tools to get a hose clamp and put back on.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good night. That's all there is to it. They work for us, so let's put them to work. That's all I'm saying. You know what else? I bet those officers will get done helping that lady out, and they'll genuinely feel good about actually helping somebody instead of ruining their day. And so if we had this mindset, if we demanded it of our sheriffs and our chiefs of police and our government in general, this mindset of, you're going to work for us, you're going to serve the people, and you're not going to hire people and train people to be bullies, you're going to hire and train people to serve, and if they can't do that, they're going to lose their job. If that was the mindset all the way up to the top, if we didn't allow or tolerate or elect people who worked against the interests of the people and of life, liberty, and property, we wouldn't be where we are right now.